this is what I know about you guys. So when I see, first of all, we're friends.
Yeah.
But also, like, when I see someone misrepresenting a company that I think is one of the most noble companies that I've ever come across, the amount of time that you guys spent trying to help first responders, military, police, I know what you guys do. So when I see you misrepresented by conservatives, and I'm not even conservative, so I see that shit, I'm like, well, you fucking idiots. Like, what are you doing? You're doing the same thing that you accuse the people on the left of doing. It's all nuts.
It's wild, man. It is. And, you know, as I kind of evolve in the last 7 years, and I've looked at especially the social media landscape and how hostile it's become. It's a really toxic environment.
It's wild.
It's like so incredible on one end, and then it's like the Wild West for trolls on the other end, right? They're like getting their gloves on and rolling out their keyboards, and they're getting ready to hit it hard. And I think that most of this doesn't really impact me unless it's a customer that's emailing me, which, to be fair, we really haven't had a lot of the customers even directly email us directly associated with this. Most of our customers are based on a direct interaction with our media that we put out on a regular basis, and they kind of know the company. It is strange for a certain percentage of the conservatives to jump on a bandwagon like that and ultimately label, me or the company as anti-American, which is nuts. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
If it wasn't so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't, the only thing you can do is kind of laugh at it and go, dudes, are you kidding me?
But it shows you how easy someone can get smeared. Even a company that's as impeccable, has such an impeccable reputation as yours, can get smeared online in this weird climate. And part of me is like, well, what? I would like to think there's some grand conspiracy involved, right?
Right.
But I think it's more that the way people communicate on social media is so ineffective and shitty. It's such a bad way to disseminate ideas.
It is.
It's not a bad way to get headlines out there like, bombs dropped on Syria. Okay.
Right.
That's like, show some footage. Okay, here it is. But like, even like video clips, have you paid attention to there was a cop that was frisking a guy, pulled an empty baggie out of his pocket and threw it in the back seat of a car.
Mm-hmm.
Just pulled the baggie out and chucked it in the car while he's frisking this guy. And it's like, you just planted evidence in the car. And then the cop explains it. No, I didn't. First of all, the baggie's empty. Second of all, he had it in his pocket. And you see his camera, the cop's camera, pull this bag out of this guy's pocket and drop in the back seat of the car. They took the clip of the cop throwing the baggie in the car and the other guy saying, you just planted evidence. And then all throughout the internet, like, look at this evidence of this cop planting this fucking baggie in this guy's car. Oh my God, these cops are pieces of shit. They were trying to set this guy up. And everybody started attacking the police. Everybody started attacking this is why people don't trust the police. And I saw it just shared thousands of times.
Right.
And then the full video came out. And in the full video, you actually see the police officer explain it. You see exactly what happened. And you're like, fuck, this is social media in a nutshell. This is the madness of how people exchange information online. It's a bad way to communicate. It's a bad way to go back and forth. It's not designed for human beings.
No.
It's like human beings trying to interface with something that's devoid of emotion, and it's devoid of context. It's devoid of social cues and the normal interactions between two human beings.
Yeah, and I think I was thinking about this the other day, that there's a lot of people that are, like, fear is a driving factor right now, right? You have a lot of fear that's floating around in the United States internationally because of, I think, the way the media portrays a lot of different events. Every year there's been some type of catastrophic thing that the media has been able to pick up and really escalate. But then you have these devices, right, where people are seeking emotion. They want a connection with people. And they can't get it from this.
Right.
But when your default emotion is anger, because it's a really easy emotion to default to. You can't get a connection of love or, a meaningful emotion out of it, but it's really easy to make a connection with somebody online and default to anger, kind of get explosive and connected. I think there's a lot of people that are really just disconnected, and they're searching for some type of human interaction, and they're never going to get it from an electronic device.
Right.
And so I don't blame that. I think that right now we're in this really strange predicament as a country where people are feeling isolated and alone, and they're connected to their electronic devices more than they ever have been. But it's a toxic environment if you're trying to connect with people in a when I say a negative way, and then band together and then enhance that emotion once again. I know that's probably an oversimplification, but you're not going to be able to connect with a technology device. It's just never going to happen.
No, in this past year and a half, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, there's much more distance between people in terms like people aren't getting together as well. At least they weren't for a long time. They're kind of doing it now, but they were not getting together and talking. People were sharing things through phones, and most of the communication was through text. They're not even calling each other, right? And then Zoom, like people are having Zoom meetings and shit. So it's like the disconnect. I was like thinking about it, like if there was if you had an artificial intelligence that was trying to get human beings to abandon everything that makes you human, like what better way than a virus that makes you scared of other people? Right. What better way than forcing people into their homes, making other people actually dangerous to be around?
Yeah.
An invisible thing. It's not like even a person has a weapon on them, right? It's an invisible thing that they might have, like a demon that leaps from their body and can kill your grandma, right? So you're literally scared of people. So you're putting masks on. You can't see people's facial expressions. People wearing gloves. They're hiding. They're socially distancing. You're keeping as far away from each other as you can. It's almost like it was... I know it wasn't, but it's almost like if you had like a super intelligent robot that was like, we got to figure out a way to get people to be at each other's necks even more. This is the way to do it. Make a disease that's invisible, that transmits through the air, and people have to stay away from each other, and there's no cure, and everybody's panicking, and then spread a bunch of misinformation about how it spreads. It spreads on surfaces, and it'll last up to 2 weeks. And you spray everything down with Lysol, and everybody's in a panic. And then because people are scared, so many people there's a giant percentage of our population out there that has never experienced any adversity. They do not know how to handle stress. They don't know how to handle being uncomfortable. They don't know how to. So as soon as anything that comes their way that they can bark at, anything, they're in this state, this constant state of being perturbed. And then anything that comes their way, well, fuck Black Rifle Coffee, fuck Joe Rogan, fuck this guy, and fuck that guy, and that's what everybody does.
Yeah.
And then people pile on. People with limited information, they all chime in, and then you're writing it in a tweet. You're using a fucking 100 characters.
Yeah.
And you're barking at each other, and you're pretending that this is normal communication. It's like the worst way to communicate ever.
It's like the worst and the counterproductive way to communicate ever. You can't explain things on Twitter. You're not going to be able to pass a sophisticated philosophical message on Twitter. No. You know what you're going to do? You're going to hand the equivalent of an internet dick pic via words on Twitter. You're not going to pass off and pontificate or opine about something so significant that's going to change society. But I think there's a lot of people that every time they log onto Twitter, they're like, you know what? This is going to change the world. This one's going to work. I don't even have Twitter. That's the fucked up thing.
I don't even think they believe that. I think they want people to put a like next to their comment. I stopped using Twitter during the pandemic. I don't use it. I occasionally will retweet something I find interesting. I never post anything. I rarely post anything. One time I posted over the whole pandemic was when Bill de Blasio, this fucking dipshit mayor of New York City, he made this video about bringing the arts back to New York City, that this is how we're going to revitalize the city. This is a city that has been economically crippled by his policies, right? Defund the police, crime is at an all-time high. People are looting and smashing stores on Fifth Avenue. He's like, let them do it. Let them get it out of their system. You're literally creating a total climate of lawlessness. And then the way he's going to revitalize the city is he puts out this video about bringing back the arts. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
It's amazing. And it's a video where it's like the most uncoordinated dancing with the worst music you've ever heard, and he's standing there talking about, we got to bring back the arts, and it starts here. We're going to have street performances, and these people are dancing, and and I just wrote, how the fuck is this real? That's all I posted, because it came across my face, and I was like, I'm going to post this. That was the only thing I posted, other than like reposting interesting articles. See if you can find it, because it's so dumb.
I think that's the great thing about... not the great thing about the pandemic. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying the one silver lining that we should all be taking from this is we get to see how fucking stupid politicians are.
Yes.
This has pulled the curtain back.
Yes.
And we get to see just how ridiculous they are. And that's where I start to look and think about individual liberty. And I start to think, why would you ever want to forfeit your freedom to one of these idiots that has control over what you or your family or your business does? Because if we've learned anything in the last year and a half, is that these people can't be trusted with a squeezy bottle. Like we can't trust them with the keys to the car.
No.
I wouldn't give them a 98 Cutlass with 180,000 miles to watch. Most of them are so fucking incompetent that I wouldn't trust them to wash a dish. And it amazes me when I look around. I'm like, why are you guys so interested?
You need to watch this. Pull it back from the beginning. Do it from the beginning. Give me some volume.
We need a recovery that brings back the life and the heart and the energy of this city, and that everyone gets to be a part of. And we're going to do that. We're going to really bring back the heart and soul of New York City. We need our arts and culture back, and we need people to see it and feel it, to participate in it, to know that essence of New York City has not been defeated by the coronavirus.
And they're wearing masks
outside. We'll come back strong in 2021. Month after month in 2021, as you see the city come back to life, culture will lead the way.
Open culture is another step towards a recovery for our city. We're launching with 115 street locations in all 5 boroughs, and it brings stages to our neighborhoods and culture to the heart of our neighbors, and give artists, cultural institutions, and creatives a place to showcase their talents as they recover from the pandemic.
Our cultural communities, our content, our cultural communities, our hope,
this is a Coen Brothers movie.
New Yorkers.
This is not.
This is literally like right out of The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, it is. Like, this is straight out.
And this is the same guy that just passed this fucking law in New York City where you have to have a vaccine passport to go everywhere. You have to have a vaccine to go to a restaurant, to a gym, to any place where people gather. It is crazy. And meanwhile, the biggest percentage of people that don't have vaccines or have been vaccinated are people of color. So this guy, people of color and immigrants, this is what he's always supposed to be pro people of color, pro diversity, pro immigration. Those are the people that don't have vaccines. And now you're precluding them from going to gyms and restaurants. And what about the people working in the restaurants? What about all these? It's fucking madness. And then you have a bunch of people that are supporting it. Like, yay, finally. Meanwhile, you have science is coming out. There's legitimate articles. Jamie, I'll send this to you now. There's legitimate because doctors have been sending me these things. And, this is neither pro nor con vaccine. This is not a judgment statement. But imperfect vaccination can enhance the transmission of highly virulent pathogens.
Right.
So this is a scientific paper from 2015 that shows that here's one important quote: vaccines that keep the host alive but still allow transmission can thus allow virulent strains to circulate in a population. So vaccines that don't kill the virus, vaccines that allow people, like this is one of the things we're finding out about what they're calling breakthrough cases.
Right.
So people who are vaccinated can still get COVID and they can still transmit COVID. This recently happened at the Comedy Store. A vaccinated comedian gave COVID to like 12 different fucking people at the Comedy Store. Some of them vaccinated, some of them not. That situation where the vaccine just kind of protects you from serious damage,
right,
but it protects you from really being like badly hospitalized or death, but doesn't stop you from getting the virus, can possibly lead to more potent viruses. So these people that are saying, oh, it's these unvaccinated people that are responsible for the variants. Well, there's actually scientific papers that point to the very sort of environment that we're creating by having so many people vaccinated with a vaccine that doesn't kill off the virus. It actually can lead to more potent viruses. Try finding that story anywhere. Other than doctors, I'm getting PhDs sending me these things. Guys who won't speak about it publicly because they're worried about the blowback. People who are physicians, people who are even epidemiologists, even people that deal with diseases and viruses, they're concerned. And they don't want to talk about it publicly because people call them anti-vaxxers.
Oh, yeah.
It's really wild out there.
Oh, it's wild because they've somehow managed, and when I say they, meaning the political elite and then I think their established media representatives, have somehow managed to turn this into a political issue, right? And that's dangerous. Like, it's dangerous for any politician to play in that game where they're using something as meaningful and quite possibly dangerous for the country as political posturing or virtue signaling, right? And you see it all the time because you see these guys are wearing their masks for the camera, but then they take them off.
AOC just got busted doing that yesterday. You see the video?
Yeah,
she
of course.
Had no mask on, hanging out with everybody, and then they go to take a picture.
Yeah.
She puts the mask on and then takes it off after the picture's done.
Yeah, or they can have parties, what is it?
How about Obama?
Yeah, Obama's having that 700 guest party or whatever it is.
I heard he's going to tone it down to 600
yeah.
because of the pandemic. He's going to make it a little lighter.
But you can't go to a gym in New York.
Right.
Unless you have a vaccination card.
Right.
Or you can't go out to eat. We're going to shut down small businesses. You can't go to a comedy club. And I think it's rules for thee and not for me scenario. And people read right through that shit. Because some people
are applauding it.